Oh, that's
But-
a good one.
And she's small, so you can like carry her.
Yeah.
I feel like she can carry me.
Yeah.
I feel like she low key like is super strong, but like doesn't act like it for some reason. I feel like she could carry me around.
That's a really good one because she'd be like, you'd be like, I have to go pick up my prescription. She'd be like, okay.
Yeah, like let's go.
Yeah. I guess I would say Anthony because I feel like a lot of the video ideas that we came up with back in the day, it was just like out of boredom of being around each other a lot.
Yeah.
We just like come up with a video idea. So I feel like being handcuffed to him for a week would give us an opportunity to come up with a lot of ideas. It's really smart for sketches.
That's like that one sketch, the Stop Copying Me one.
Interesting. You mentioned that one.
It's so because I'm going through all the old Smosh videos right now to like clip YouTube shorts and Stop Copying Me. It's an entire sketch where they're speaking perfectly in unison, and it holds up. It holds up.
Well, we might have.
You might have made it.
We might have.
At Chamberlain University, we believe in the grit to be strong, belong to something greater.
Are you wasting money on forgotten subscriptions?
I have lots of monthly subscriptions. Streaming, music, news sites. Now
Look good, feel good. Everybody wishing that they could. But let me show you
Holy.
We might be working on a sequel, maybe.
Interesting.
You heard it here, folks. Unless this video came out. Unless this video came out after that.
I don't know.
Within the Smosh universe, past and present, I'd probably pick any one of our writers of the times that we've had, Jeremy, Patrick, Janie, because then we would just write a script together. I'd be like, okay, finally, I need to write a script. Let's write one together.
That's
and
good.
so we'd
That's
be.
good.
I like that idea of using it to be productive. Or I would choose any of the gamers here. So Spencer, Alex. I would say Damien, but I think the bathroom situation would be really tough. I think he would agree. I do not want to witness that. And it would be frequent, and I'm just like, you know what? No.
Yeah.
So
That's a hard part to the question.
that's
Is
the
the
toughest
piss.
part is the piss.
The pee and piss.
Pee and also piss.
Piss.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll do a bigger question. Why not?
Big.
So this question I feel like you can disagree with this prompt. Name something you do. Oh, name something that you do that you think is the biggest waste of time.
Whoa.
Oh God, that's
But there's also the concept of do you think anything's a waste of time?
true. Like if you enjoy doing something, then it isn't time wasted.
Yeah, like I binge a lot. I binge a lot of TV.
Yeah.
And like,
But is
I
that-
do think that's rest. And especially that whole, who said that yesterday about bears when they hibernate?
That they're not actually like asleep. They're just hanging out.
That just, like,
Spencer.
hearing that yesterday, I was like, okay, now I'm going to go watch Love Island for 2
You
straight
go into a
days.
cave and the bear's just like.
Yeah, I do hate, like, because you're talking about enjoying it. I go on my phone a lot, but I wouldn't say that I'm, like, having fun when I'm doing it for most of the time. Most of the time, it's, like, me trying to find funny TikToks that I'll enjoy, but also I like to share TikToks with other people. And it's not fun to a degree, and I could have been playing. I would have felt like my time was more valuably spent if I had been playing like Legend of Zelda or something. Like I will realize that later and be like, damn it, that was 2 hours that I could have done something else.
I think the only time that my time's wasted is if I'm like, if I spend any amount of time in my bed on my phone.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if I'm in my bed, like, I need to be sleeping. So it's like, if
Oh,
I'm
that's a
going
good
to
point,
bed
yeah.
and I'm on my phone, then I'm wasting time because I should be using that time to sleep. And if I wake up and I'm on my phone, then I'm wasting time because I need to actually, like, get up and, like, take a shower or do yoga or run or
That's a good
eat
point.
breakfast or drink coffee or go to work. So that's the only time that I really feel like I waste my time.
Yeah.
I think this prompt hits very close to home for me because this concept and everything is what I've talked most about in therapy, is this idea of like, I need to be productive, I need to be using my time properly, which kind of can become a bad loop. And what I would say is technically the biggest waste of time, but it's dangerous to think that way, is spending time in your head going like, what should I be doing with my life? Like any time you spend not really in the moment and like experiencing the moment and just being here is it's not a waste of time because it's you're doing what you're doing, and like that's where you're at, and that's what your life is, and that's okay, and it's all a process. And but taking it into like, I think there's also recognizing like it's not a waste of time, but what's hurting you, what's making things harder internally. And I would say scrolling on your phone a lot just kind of puts your brain into a worse place.
Yeah.
I think a lot of studies have shown that like there is a lot of there is a correlation between the amount of time you spend online and feeling depressed. Now that could be caused by one or the other. Maybe when you're depressed you want to just be online more, but
Unless
a
you're,
vicious
unless you're
cycle.
watching Smosh.
yeah.
Then-
But I
It's
would
a
say
vicious
I would say
cycle.
specifically the scrolling through Twitter, the scrolling through Instagram, the scrolling through Reddit. They cause, and I've noticed this for myself, they cause different kinds of feelings of dread after a while. Twitter can make me feel like I'm not caught up on everything, and it can
Yeah.
make me feel like everyone sucks and that everyone disagrees and that everyone's
Especially if you're on
there
the
he
forum.
is.
Especially if
I'm
you're
not
on the
gonna
forum
get him.
page. I got him.
No, he's
No time to see your friends this holiday. White Claw, we'll take you to see them in no time.
But Twitter does that. Reddit makes me feel like everything is abysmal and the world is ending.
Why?
Full show. And then Instagram makes me feel like I'm a loser.
Damn.
Yeah. Yep.
But my Instagram feed has gotten way better. I have curated it now that it's all like really awesome menswear fashion and stuff.
Oh wow.
And it's like it's just like actually I'm like, oh, this is just actually helpful and cool
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and
very
inspiring. But it used to be like, oh, I'm ugly and I'm not in Italy on the beach.
Yeah.
Like it just because it was when
Yeah.
people were like doing the coolest things,
Yeah.
but it was all photoshopped and fake.
Yeah, every year I do a purge of like all these accounts that I don't need to follow that aren't
Yeah.
now helpful to me. So I get that. I also think something that is a waste of my time is I feel like, and I'm getting better at this in therapy and all the things, but having ingenuine conversations, like, and being on when I don't need to be on, it's a waste of energy and it is a waste of time because like I could have been doing something or been more genuine with whether it was someone else or that person, like, and it's not even me being fake because of my relationship with whoever. It's like I have a hard time just like I'm probably seeing me even more subdued in this video because it's like more recently I've been like I need to like stop being like because I feel more neurotic and I don't feel like I'm putting my real self out there.
I get that. No, I get that in a big way. Oh yeah.
Sorry, that was a lot to let out.
No, it's okay.
Whose turn is it?
Does everyone know?
Yeah.
Did you go?
Mine's really specific and stupid. I can't figure out geographically where I am ever. I've lived in LA all of my life. I can't get anywhere without maps or Waze on.
That's
Yeah,
Like
but it gets really bad to like parts of town. Like if I think I'm going over there, I just am really bad at it, and I just will lose so much time, just getting lost.
But then you just go to new places.
Yeah, and then I do something insane, which is I only use Waze instead of like Apple Maps or whatever.
Google.
I know
Maps.
I should use that, but I only use Waze, and I
Bro.
can't stop it.
Waze will tell you to run over something.
Google
And I
Maps
will,
owns
because
Waze.
it'll save me a minute, Shane. But my problem is I use Waze to like find like things. Like I was on my way to dinner and I wanted to get my friend flowers, and I used Waze to help me find a thing of flowers along the route.
Oh.
Waze brought me to 3 places that are not flower places that have closed.
Oh.
Oh,
And I lost like
God.
literally 30 minutes.
Google Maps.
Yeah. But I don't know, Waze, I love it, the time it cuts, like,
Yeah, Google
Yeah.
Maps owns Waze and uses their interface. It's better. It's better.
But then what? Okay,
Because
that's huge.
Waze was better, but then Google like bought it, and they like you'll get the good stuff.
Or
I
just turn it
promise.
all off and trust your instincts.
Okay, whose turn with the card?
Thank you.
Okay. I think also like you can just like look for like landmarks to like orient yourself. You
Yeah,
know?
see, we get into crazy territory if
Like
we
if you're
talk
like-
about landmarks.
If you like look it up and you're like, oh, that's the Hollywood Hills,
Yeah.
or it's like, oh, that's the San Gabriel Mountains.
See, I think I need to sit with a map.
Okay.
and really.
Or you just use Google Maps for everything. That's what I
Guys,
do.
no, do what I do. Just play Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, then you figure it
learn
out.
LA.
That's true. I do that too.
I just pulled the card. Are we going this way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Last one. If you came with a warning label attached, what would it say?
God.
Okay, this is actually really good. I think for me, it's that my face doesn't. My face
My face one.
doesn't transmit my level of excitement or interest that I actually have in something. So while somebody could be telling me something really exciting, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. That's really exciting. And like, I'm just like very deadpan.
Yeah.
And like, I think that sometimes people take it as like a lack of interest or that like I don't care, or that I'm like, yeah.
Would you say that you've always been that way?
I don't know.
Because I remember like when I first met you.
Yeah.
And like we'd be on set and I'd be like telling jokes and you instead of just like laughing, you'd go, "That's really funny." And I attributed it. I was like, okay, this guy's been on YouTube and literally doing comedy for a decade, so I'm sure he's just like he's seen it all.
Yeah.
That's what I
Just do
assumed. I was like,
comedy all
okay,
day.
he's seen it all, so like he's got no new reactions. I don't know,
Yeah, I don't know. Like I think
but
I
that's
think,
good.
Yeah, generally, yeah, I think that I come across as like unengaged when I am.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't always like. I'm just not like very outward about it. I think.
I've seen you like that,
Yeah,
especially
I have.
lately, but
I feel like lately, yeah, I see you.
Ah.
And I'm like, okay, got him.
That's funny. That's really funny.
I think mine's pretty simple. I think if I could have a thing that's just like, can you, when I, for like meeting people for the first time, it's like, can you say your name like a few times? Can you say it like 5 times?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to forget it the first
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I am, sorry, I'm freaking out a little bit. So when you say your name when I first meet you, I'm not going to remember it.
Yeah.
Because I'm in my head right now.
I do that too.
So,
I
yeah.
fully black out. And you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
When someone says their name.
I'm so
I'm
Just
so
put it
sorry.
on first
I'm
name.
Courtney, and it's
Yeah.
like, wow, you said your name so good, Courtney, and then I don't hear it.
Good job, Courtney. You said Courtney.
You did Courtney great.
You said
What
Courtney
they
so
said?
well.
Huh?
Yeah.
I do the same exact thing. I say I'm Courtney, and then I don't remember it.
Man,
That's
that's
really
so
funny.
funny.
That's so funny.
That's really funny.
I think mine would be like those migraine commercials or those like medication commercials where they're like, side effects, blah, 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 blah. And then this and all. Mine would be
All these things.
like, warning, handle with care. Sometimes she's really chaotic. Sometimes she's really quiet and introverted. Please be careful. Sometimes she's really sensitive. Depends on the time of month. It'd be like, yeah, she really loves you and really needs to feel a lot of affirmation sometimes, but then sometimes doesn't want to talk to you.
I feel the same way. Mine was just like warning, a lot. Like, I am a lot. Emotionally, I will want to be your best friend immediately, but then get scared and then hide, and then also, but then,
Warning,
it's just too
cries.
much. Warning, cries. Oh God, yeah. I cry, but it's like not, but like don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Warning, cries, don't worry.
warning, don't worry. Don't warning. About crying.
Product may tear, don't worry.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. Stop worrying.
Imagine my medication ad said, don't worry. Side effects include dying. Don't worry.
Suicidal thoughts, don't worry.
Side effects. Don't just stop freaking out, man. Just don't think about it.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Warning,
All
we'll
of us?
ask you way too many times how you're doing.
Yeah.
All of us.
So that's Let's Get Talking. If you want to see us do this again, leave us a note in the comments. But we have also done this before with some other people, so go back and watch that one if you haven't already. It's good times. You learn a little bit more about us. And yeah, love
Tell
it.
us who you think won in the comments.
Yeah.
Who won?
Who won?
Who
Who
won?
won?
Who has the most points?
Bye.
Hi.
You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. When you are pursuing a dream, man, it costs you everything. You see teams become teams, stars become stars, and you see what they're made of. Welcome to OTE.
Here's my honest review of Mint Mobile's unlimited plan. I love a good deal, and I haven't had to pay a phone bill in 3 months. As a new customer, it's just $15 a month for the first 3 months, and you get the unlimited plan.
Today we are looking for love, and with the help of our friends, we're going to create the perfect partners for us, and then we're going to try to sabotage them with red flags. And that's why we're playing Red Flags.
Damn. Wow. Bro.
Also, Trevor's here.
Oh yeah.
He'll take care of you.
He truly did just walk.
We
in
literally
the door.
didn't ask him to be here. And he just like,
I actually told him to
I just turned around and he was there. And we were like, "Do you want to be in a video?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." And Link let me out of the dungeon.
Red and Link are very worried about him.
Yeah.
They do not
Making
know
him play with friends.
Yeah.
We got a free range Trevor today.
Okay,
Alright.
so the type of partner I'm looking for.
Okay.
Yeah,
Someone who can take care of me. I don't want to work another day in my life.
Okay.
I want to lounge by a pool.
I think I have the person for you, Shane.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Because this person has done a lot of work
Okay.
for this country.
Ooh.
Famous artist,
Oh.
and they won the Medal of Honor.
Oh my God.
Wow.
They are an artist at heart, but a warrior on the outside.
Jackson Pollock with a shotgun?
Or Ernest Hemingway.
Okay, well, unfortunately, their kisses taste like poop.
Oh,
They love kissing.
Oh, no.
Wow.
I don't know about that one,
No.
Shane.
What are you gonna do with that?
Poop. I really
Do you
hate
find it
poop.
repulsive or what?
Yeah.
It's just gross.
Yeah, certainly not on the mouth.
I hate
Yeah.
the taste of poop.
Yeah, it's so perfect.
You used to enjoy it, but not anymore.
Yeah.
That person sucks.
But don't worry, I got you. I have somebody who will totally take care of you. This person fulfills all of your dirtiest fantasies without even being asked.
Oh. Whoa.
Holy shit.
No asking
Wow.
necessary.
You just get to lay down, relax by the pool.
I'm
Why
just
am I
by the
helping
pool.
you?
And every time you have sex with them, you add a year to your life.
Whoa.
I'm immortal and I don't have to do anything.
An immortal pillow princess.
You only have to have sex once a year and you can live forever.
That is true.
Like mark it on the calendar. Well,
He died at the age of 65. Bummer for him, dude.
couldn't even stretch it out to 69.
I know.
You tried, but
Oz are the fat classic first-timers. They don't know that nearly half of all used cars have been in an accident. But Carfax shows how accidents impact price. Shop the all-new Carfax.com.
they are the person you hated the most in high school and literally has not changed.
Oh my God.
So I don't know if you got that image in your head, but don't let it leave.
He didn't even go to high school.
Oh wait.
But in that
What?
time period, I think.
You didn't go to high school, bro?
Nah, sort of. Not really. Not an actual high school.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
Sort of. It was a pseudo homeschooling situation.
All right. Well, you're the the person you hated most in your homeschool.
Okay. There were other people at this.
Your mom? That's a sibling. Oh.
You literally can't choose that person. Just saying.
That's
No,
a
you can't.
pretty solid move, Anthony.
You got him.
I got you.
You got his
All right,
ass.
Anthony. Let's see. Then if these two people suck,
Yeah.
who do you got?
So
This, the OP describes it in the beginning, isn't even all that angry. She really confides in Reddit asking if she's in the wrong.
He definitely is upset that he doesn't have full control over her now. Like that's what it seems like he was upset about, and now that he doesn't, he was just trying to guilt her
Oh yeah.
throughout all of this,
And
then it kept failing, and he got really mad, and probably was thinking that by threatening breaking up with her,
Yeah.
that she'd be like, no, but then she stood her ground, thank God.
Yeah.
And I think he's now gonna be like regretting it.
But that's what's so scary, right? Is when women do kind of have this stance of like, no, I am right, or I am following through with what I say. these men get so angry and are then like, well, then I'm taking this or I'm doing this. And in an effort to just get more aggressive, continue to place these meaningless threats that are just like, I don't know if that's actually like who he is as a person. Like, again, what you offered, I think would have been such a great resolve to just lean in with the vulnerability of like, hey, I messed up. But it's clear that zero part of him can actually admit that he did anything wrong.
I think it's really important in a relationship to recognize, like, oh, I'm feeling really guilty, and then to kind of
ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Try it now.
when you're having those moments, being like, what is my partner's goal? Is it just to make me feel guilty, or it's a good thing in your own self if you're saying something or doing something to your partner and going, what is my end goal here? Am I just trying to make them feel bad? Because if that's it, that takes some. That's a serious thing to acknowledge, both in other people or yourself. Because it's like if you're getting to that place, that is nothing but pure manipulation at that point.
Yeah.
I read something a while ago that said, when you're fighting with your partner, when you're arguing, you shouldn't fight like you hate them. You should fight like you love them.
Yeah.
That way, in your dialogue, like, yes, of course, you can still be upset and share your feelings and put it out there, but you're doing it in a way that almost protects them. And you're
Right.
like, I don't want to upset you, but I just am letting you in on what I'm feeling. And that way it shifts the words, it makes things come out a lot differently. And then people are susceptible to what you're saying. Nobody wants to listen to you if you're just insulting them or of course if you're yelling at them.
Yeah. Well, in the case for her, and I mean, we have this one story, but in the case of so many people, they're not in a relationship. They have to wedge themselves or fit into this other person's life, right? And they're controlling you because it's like, no, I get to live my life, and you have to change everything for me and accommodate me, and that's not a relationship. That's not how it should be. Well, I'm glad they broke up.
Yeah.
And it's been almost 10 years since that story, so...
Any more updates?
Yeah.
No more updates.
A 2025 update to come.
2024 update. He sucks.
He sucks, she's still doing pottery.
I made some great urns. Okay. Moving on to our next story. This one is more recent. This came from this past month.
Whoa!
Am I the asshole for telling my sister she's not allowed to bring her homemade food to Thanksgiving because her cooking is ruining the meal?
What?
Oh, devastating.
Oh.
Oof.
Mac and cheese is not that hard.
Oh, God. It's hard to, make something that's bad. I've had a lot of underwhelming holiday foods, but I've not had bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with Thanksgiving, though, I think there are certain dishes that people are so excited about that if you do let them down, I think you do get into bad territory. Like, if the mashed potatoes aren't creamy, I'm upset. But I'll get over it.
Okay, here we go. Every year, our family does a big Thanksgiving dinner, and we all typically bring a dish or two. My sister, who's a lovely person in every other way, insists on cooking something homemade every time. The issue? She's not a great cook. And I don't mean just not great. I mean she has somehow managed to turn classic dishes into borderline inedible creations. For context, last Thanksgiving she showed up with her special recipe, stuffing that was over-seasoned with random spices like cinnamon and cardamom. It was dry and the flavors were confusing and totally off for stuffing. Only one person took a small bite and the rest went untouched. Another year, she brought a green bean casserole that had some kind of strange, chewy texture. She later admitted she used coconut milk and almond flour to experiment. No one wanted seconds of that either. This year, I'm hosting Thanksgiving. Since I'm responsible for putting it all together, I wanted to keep the menu consistent so that people could actually enjoy a cohesive meal. I thought I'd avoid drama by asking her to bring non-food items instead, like wine, soda, or even some flowers. I explained to her, very kindly I thought, that I just wanted to make things easy and streamlined and I'd handled the main dishes. But she didn't take it well. She got offended and told me I was being controlling and shutting her out of the family gathering. She then accused me of making her feel inadequate and said that Thanksgiving is about everyone contributing, not me deciding what's acceptable. I told her that everyone appreciates her effort, but that she could contribute in other ways and still be part of it. She doubled down and said she's bringing her famous green bean casserole, whether I like it or not. Now, my mom and a couple other family members have chimed in, saying I should just let her bring whatever she wants because it's Thanksgiving and it's the thought that counts. They're acting like I'm committing some huge offense by wanting the food to be enjoyable for everyone and not having random experimental dishes that no one will eat. But I feel like I'm just trying to keep the meal enjoyable and frankly edible. I don't think it's wrong to want guests to actually enjoy the food, especially since I'm putting in a lot of effort to host. Am I really being unreasonable here? Am I the asshole?
I
that's tough.
I blacked out after cardamom on stuffing because literally never
This
ever.
lady is just a culinary crimes.
Yeah, a walking crime.
Dude, I have so many thoughts because like I 100% respect like wanting to have the food be good, and I feel like the sister tried to handle it in such a kind way, being like, hey, like I'd love for you to maybe just like bring some other things, like I'll handle cooking. Like that's such a gentle way of doing it.
Yeah.
But if she insists on bringing food, it's like I don't know how serious of an issue it is, because who knows whose family, it could be a bigger deal. But if that were me, I'd just make a green bean casserole as well, and then like let people have whichever one they want,
right,
and just be like, look,
to tell someone don't cook.
Yeah.
Don't bring the food.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I wouldn't be able to say that.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't, especially because I'm like, this is one of those situations where I'm like, is it really hurting anyone that it's just gonna sit there and nobody's gonna eat it?
Exactly. Sorry, again, I blacked out. So does she react in any way when things get untouched at the table?
She does not say whether she reacts, because you would think
Yeah.
that you bring it a couple times and nobody's touching it, that you
You get the message.
But
Yeah.
I don't think so. In fact, she refers to her green bean casserole as she's bringing her famous green bean
Her
eggs,
nobody green
her
bean
coconut
casserole.
milk and almond flour.
Her literally unknown casserole.
Mystery casserole.
so awesome.
What a baller.
So awesome.
You see, yeah, I don't think I would really insist on managing that. I think I would also just be like, if it makes you happy, you bring it.
Yeah.
Because it's not hurting anybody. It's just gonna sit there. I understand wanting to control the vibe, and the hospitality in me is of course saying that I only want really delicious and in her words edible things on the table. But I think if it makes somebody feel like they are contributing to the family and it is a much bigger deal to them, I think I would try to let that one go.
It's really hard because it's like, here's someone who's so excited to like do something for people.
Yeah.
And it's like heartbreaking that it's not good, but it's like, to tell someone, hey, don't contribute is devastating. I know she's saying like, oh, I'm asking her to bring wine and soda and stuff, but I'm like, she wants to like make something and feel special. It's tough.
Yeah, if you try and let her off gentle and be like, hey, like I'm wanting to handle the food, like please, like be happy if you brought something else, like, and she insists on bringing something, like, yeah, let her cook and bring something.
Let her
It's
cook.
like,
I know I would just let her cook.
Yeah, and it's like if I think it's kind of sweet too that like she sucks. She sucks at cooking, but she's still trying. So I'm kind of like, okay, girly, like I am loving that for you. I just would love it if your skills improved.
It's so funny to me because like I'm just a very different type of cook. If I ever am cooking for like a party or like a gathering, I am finding a recipe online that has 5 stars and I just follow the recipe.
Follow it.
Because I'm like, all I'm trying to do is make something that I know a lot of people are gonna like. I'm all for experimenting, but I'm like, that's for me. Like, if I'm gonna experiment, only I'm gonna eat it.
Bring it
I'm
to
not trying to
Smosh.
experiment or bring it here and punish
Poison
people.
everybody.
But to experiment to that degree when you're bringing it for other people is just bold.
Right.
It's bold unless you are a chef. Like, unless you know the theories and stuff. But adding cinnamon and cardamom to stuffing.
Yeah. I'm like the opposite
Why?
of this person. I'm convinced that everything I make is like really bad, even though I'm like good at cooking. Like that's kind of
That's
like
quite
what
literally
I,
your profession.
Yeah, it's quite literally that's what I do. And then like I mix it and I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna be good. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I should give it to people.
Right. I feel like I'm conscious of that too. I make something and then I'll give it to somebody and stand there and be like, so you like it?
Yeah, you're interested. You like it.
So you're
You like
interested,
it, you
so you're
like
gonna
this,
call me?
You're gonna eat it.
I'm definitely the same way. I cooked a couple things for Thanksgiving a couple years ago, and I made mac and cheese, and I found a recipe online. I was like, I need to find the best recipe that I know is going to be good, and even still, I was like, I hope this is good enough, but it was good.
Right,
It was good.
right.
Um,
Yeah, I feel like that's happened before at like, tables of like Friendsgiving and Thanksgiving and stuff, but I just feel like at the end of the day, like I just talk about it with my closer friends and I'm just like, yeah, that stuffing was disappointing, but we move on.
I almost wonder if she wanted to be sly and get away with this, is asking for a Thanksgiving dish that's kind of like an optional like side dish.
Ah.
Green bean casserole's almost there, but like
Yeah.
something where it's like you don't necessarily need to have it to feel like you got the complete meal. but,
Yeah.
like being like, oh, could you make a pie? Could you make a dessert? Like we're gonna have several desserts, but could you make another one?
Totally.
I think it'd be funny if she asked her to make it with her. Be like, hey, I'd love to like see how you make this and make it with you, and then like maybe only buy the right ingredients.
Right.
Maybe like I don't know. I
She,
just
like,
think
turns
like
around
like
and
I want to
you're, like,
learn how you
slicing.
make it. That's what I would want to do. I'd want to see how it's done.
That's some crazy experimentation to have coconut milk and almond flour in your
Yeah.
pantry.
You're just asking
Very specific
people.
ingredients.
Yeah.
The verdict was asshole. They think she's an asshole for saying, "Hey, don't bring stuff."
Yeah.
Um,
I get that.
Yeah.
The comments we have here, someone was asking for info. How does your sister react when no one eats her food? If she reacts poorly, tries to push people to try to have seconds, and is generally a sourpuss about it, then I think suggesting that she take control of wine/crisps/ non-baked goods is sensible. But if she doesn't comment or make a big deal, then it doesn't really sound like her cooking badly does any harm. No one eats it, she feels like she's contributed, and all it takes is throwing away the food at the end. Minimal hassle for a peaceful holiday that everyone enjoys. Someone else said, rather than throw it away, it would be better to cover the dish and send it home with her. At least it won't be wasted, as she seems to like it. She might also actually realize that nobody else likes it. Someone else said, let her do it. Her bad cooking is a tradition. Just make another vegetable that people will eat. Someone lastly said, a soft, you're the asshole. Just let her bring what she wants. It's not hurting you. You don't have to eat it. It might even be fun to pretend it's the best thing ever and throw some away when she isn't looking to make her feel good. It could be part of the traditional holiday experience. OP responded to that saying, I get that, and maybe I'm overthinking it. It just feels like a small battle I'd rather not have every year, especially when I'm hosting and trying to make sure everyone genuinely enjoys the meal. I mean, I can definitely go with the smile and nod approach for the sake of family peace, but it does feel a little exhausting to pretend every time. I guess I just don't...
This lump here feels like a lumbar massage.
I don't even need to say his name. Mr. Bob Dylan, like a rolling stone.
Don't want to encourage her thinking that everyone actually loves it, especially when it's clearly not working. But you're right, it's just food, and maybe I should focus more on making her feel included than on the menu being perfect. I'll try to keep this in mind and relax about it. Something I'm curious about too is if she's asking her not to cook, but a bunch of people are doing the thing where a bunch of people cook and contribute, that would make her feel really bad.
Yeah.
If like, because you were kind of saying like, oh, I'm going to handle all the cooking.
That's what it, in the original post it sounded like that's what she was saying, like I'm gonna handle the food. Like
Yeah.
in that case, if that's what you want to do, like still if she wants to cook something, bring it. Like, but if you're committing to being like, hey, I'm gonna cook everything, like I prefer to handle it all, like there might be a little bit more of a defense for that, but
Yeah, I think I feel pretty happy about the way that that went down. I think OP, I like it being a soft, you're the asshole.
That's what it's a silly situation.
Exactly. I totally understand her kind of managing, wanting to take control of the whole event. If she's hosting, I can understand it kind of feeling like a reflection on her. She wants to keep everybody happy. I think she's just trying to consider everybody's feelings.
Yeah.
But I think by posting and receiving this feedback, it feels like she was a little bit at ease now and is
Right.
like, you're right, I should relax. She's willing to accept that, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
I want to try it, because what if it's like groundbreaking?
The food?
The green bean casserole. What if it's like a generational, like she's a generational talent when it comes to cooking, and OP just is.
What if OP and all of everyone at this party has terrible taste?
Terrible taste.
Yeah.
She's actually the genius.
You guys,
making delicious
that's what I'm
stuff.
saying.
people ridiculed Einstein.
You're right. People murdered Jesus.
Yeah.
I think she could be Christ.
Oh my
You
god.
guys,
What a
yeah.
good
we
point.
all have to eat this casserole.
Update.
No way, we get an update.
We're gonna know. What do we think is gonna happen?
They all eat the casserole and die.
Do you think the green bean casserole is poison?
I think she brings the casserole and everyone loves it. And it's the biggest
And OP's
hit.
jealous.
And OP's jealous.
No.
And the sister's like, just, I want it.
Okay, I
want
bet
it to
the
be so
opposite.
good.
I bet the opposite. The sister's gonna cry and she's gonna run out and it's gonna be a terrible holiday. Okay, tell
Okay.
us.
All right, well, things have escalated fast. Thanks to everyone who offered advice. I tried to compromise, but it's already turning into a whole thing, and Thanksgiving is still a few weeks away. After our last conversation, my sister was being pretty cagey about what she planned to make, so I reached out to my mom, hoping she could help smooth things over. Instead, she got defensive, saying I'm overthinking and that it's just one dish. I told her I wasn't sure it was just one dish anymore, especially after hearing about my sister's grocery haul, including canned oysters and edible glitter.
Fun!
This is so awesome.
Fun! Edible glitter!
Oh, glitter oysters!
I've always said the turkey needs to be prettier.
Yeah.
Then my mom let slip that my sister has been hard at work on some creative menu she's planning as her Thanksgiving surprise. Apparently, she's been telling the family group chat, which I wasn't included in, by the way, that I'm being controlling and that she wants to expand everyone's palate with something truly unique. To top it off, my cousin sent me a screenshot from the group chat where my sister said she's bringing not one, but 3 dishes to Thanksgiving now. She's calling them her Thanksgiving trio experience, complete with their own place settings and little menu cards she's designing. I'm officially panicking because I have no idea what she's planning to serve, and from what I've heard, it's not remotely traditional. At this point, half the family thinks I'm overreacting, while the other half is texting me with things like, is she really bringing glittered sweet potatoes? I feel stuck. If I try to control it anymore, I'm the bad guy. But if I don't, Thanksgiving might turn into a tasting event for my sister's avant-garde cooking. So yeah, Thanksgiving is weeks away, and it's already becoming a family spectacle. I don't know whether to brace myself or just preemptively order pizza.
Holy shit.
This is it.
Yeah, dude.
It's giving second update.
This is so amazing. 3 weeks out, already testing your menu with oysters and glitter, and like this level of pettiness, but like harmless pettiness, almost in the other like kind pettiness, like being able to like cook for people.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
But excluding the sister from the group chat is a little nasty.
Oh yeah.
Because she's hosting, so that's a little dirty, I feel like.
Well, is this a group chat that the sister made and then left her out of?
We don't
or is
know.
this a family group chat that has existed and everyone has left her out of it?
What if this is all a big family prank on OP that they just continue to do?
I really hope it is.
Because
That would be
damn,
literally my nightmare.
we're recording this a little bit before Thanksgiving, so this has not happened yet. We'll probably have updates by the time this airs.
Oh,
We might comment down below about it.
please.
But
OP is somewhere not
I
sleeping.
have to know.
I love oysters. I do not think they belong in Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
Not just oysters, canned oysters. I mean, what she is putting together is diabolical, and I love it.
Yes.
Shrek is going to enjoy this.
Yeah.
I really want to see the menu cards too. I hope that the next update has little images, because that I can get behind.
Oh.
I am excited.
It's so harmless. Like, she isn't doing anything mean to anyone. Like, she's just making food that can just be put away. Like, it's not like she's blowing up Thanksgiving. Like, this is so funny.
But she's like, I understand OP though too, because she's kind of like overstepping where OP is
I think
excited to host.
when you're making a whole menu and you're bringing a whole bunch of things, you're making a tasting event, you are kind of taking over someone else's hosting event. But this is a family thing.
Mhm.
Families operate very differently, like each family, and so it's kind of more of a family gathering. Yes, it's at her place, but seems like from what they've described, it's kind of like a big get together where everyone contributes.
It feels like also that the subject for us feels a little bit smaller, but I'm sure it's also it sounds like it's taking over OP's life a lot more. If she's getting messages about it from all of her family members, there's this elusive group chat that she doesn't know or isn't a part of that she's hearing about. So I can see in her head that it might feel like this overwhelming, like very daunting thing that's approaching.
Oof. I might
guess
be
we'll
playing
find out.
devil's advocate too much, but like this is one of those things where I'd love to hear someone else's perspective of the story, like
I wanna
how
hear a different
they
feeling.
paint the OP, like when they talk about OP.
Yeah. I want to hear from the dad.
Yeah, I want to hear from the dad. I
He's
want to hear
like,
from
"I'm hungry."
everyone. I want it live stream.
Every single Reddit story we read with family dynamics, I always wish that I could go and just meet this whole family and hear the whole story, because I'm sure my opinion would shift probably 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Because OP is always going to paint themselves to be in the right.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard not to.
Right.
Even if they have the best of intentions, because when you're in the wrong, you often have blinders up. Or you're kind of unaware of what you're doing that's wrong.
Totally. We're only in on this situation based on the way that OP skews it with their own biases.
This is hilarious, though.
Awesome.
It is really funny.
Littered sweet potato.
I love the name too of like, this is my Thanksgiving experience trio. And this is my famous green bean casserole.
So good.
I am literally going to name all of my dishes this Thanksgiving.
Today's Reddit Stories is brought to you by Factor. This holiday season, give yourself the gift of tasty, no prep, no mess meals with Factor. Whether you like routine or you enjoy mixing things up, Factor has you covered with 35 different delicious meals every week and over 60 additional convenience options you can add to your box, like keto cookies, pressed juices, and smoothies. If you want something really good, you can choose their Gourmet Plus options that have premium proteins and seasonal sides like asparagus, leeks, and broccolini. So good. They've even got truffle butter filet mignon. I mean, come on. How can you say no to that? And with Factor, you can save a lot of time during these dark months, which is really important because we're all busy during this time of the year. I'm a big fan of Factor. I've had so many meals delivered here to the office, and they are so easy to make. So if you're interested, head to factormeals.com/50pitreddit and use code 50pitreddit to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code 50pitreddit at factormeals.com/50pitreddit to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping while your subscription is active. Today's Reddit Stories is also brought to you by ZocDoc. Just because it's December doesn't mean you have to put off your health until the new year. Finding a doctor in your area with your insurance and within your time frame has never been easier thanks to ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors, choose the right one for your needs, and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, eye care to skincare, and much more. Plus, ZocDoc appointments happen fast, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments. I was amazed when I downloaded ZocDoc how simple the app is. I was able to see so quickly all the doctors in my area and when they were available and if they were covered under my insurance. It made it so simple, I couldn't deny booking an appointment finally. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/pitreddit to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/pitreddit. ZocDoc.com/pitreddit. Back to the show. Next story. This is Today I f***ed up. It's from 7 years ago. Today I f***ed up by catching on fire at a New Year's Eve party. Classic.
Okay.
Classic move. A group of 5 of us arrived at a small party, 10 to 15 people or so, around 9:30 p.m. We seemed to be the last people arriving, and everyone was happy to see each other. After the hellos, our group just...
Holidays on the House is back at DraftKings Casino. New players pay $10 to get 100 instantly at casino credits.
Decided to go to the kitchen to get some drinks. Now this kitchen was pretty narrow, and there were about 10 of us standing in there waiting to get our drinks. As I stood in my spot right in front of the gas stove, one of the girls complimented my brand new button-up flannel shirt, and it seemed like it's going to be a great night. Note, I'm completely sober at this point. Now, apparently someone was making tea on the front burner. I did not realize that someone was making tea on the aforementioned front burner. It all happened so fast. I feel heat on my back as someone yells, "You're on fire!" I pause for a couple seconds as my fire safety knowledge is completely lost in the moment. I cannot take off my shirt as it's a button-up and start rolling on the floor after 15 people shouted at me to do so. After rolling on the hardwood floor for 10 seconds to no avail, someone mentions that there is snow outside. Thanks, Ohio. Luckily, the back door was right there, so I was able to go outside and roll in the snow. The fire was extinguished shortly after. I was probably on fire for a good 20 seconds. I come back inside to a sea of horrified faces, and I'm convinced the damage was not too bad. I was wrong. Shortly after, my roommates drove me to the hospital, and we watched the midnight ball drop together with me laying down on my belly in the ER. A day later, I'm still in the hospital with my 2nd-degree burns. No third. All over my back, and I should be released tomorrow. Ooh,
Happy New Year.
that's gotta suck.
God, the intro of that story just reads so funny. Like, I went to a New Year's party, I was so pumped, and everything was so great as I stood in front of the gas stove.
Right. Somebody commented my new
A two-sentence
flannel.
I like to think that he tossed something into a trash can, perfectly nailed it, and someone's like, "Oh, you're on fire," and he's like, "Thanks."
Right. The idea too of like picturing 15 people yelling at you to roll on the ground is so funny too.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, roll
on the ground. I also like that someone complimented his brand new flannel shirt right
His
before it
button up.
Hey, I like your button-up flannel shirt. Like, what other kind of flannel shirts are there?
Right.
Right. Button-up flannel shirt. Oh, so OP included photos that we're not going to show because they're apparently pretty graphic. He got burned pretty bad.
Is the flannel okay?
No.
I reckon no.
Poor dude. He was on fire for 20 seconds. We're getting reactions from our producers over there. It must be gnarly.
I don't want to see it. I want the flannel.
I want to see.
Flannel.
All right, you're going to get our reactions.
Live reaction. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's gotta suck so bad.
Oh, that sucks
But
really
no
bad.
photos of the flannel.
So he kind of like can't wear a shirt for weeks.
That's really sad.
Really unlucky.
It's really scary.
Comments, rest in peace, brand new flannel button-up shirt. Someone else said, the question we should be asking is what kind of bastard makes tea on New Year's Eve at 9:30 p.m.?
Yeah, wait a minute. When you're having a party.
So lastly, someone said, as someone who has had 3rd-degree burns, you have my sympathy, friend. Burns are absolutely not a fun experience, and I feel sorry for anyone who has the misfortune of experiencing them. But hey, on the upside, at least now you have a bitchin' story and can laugh about it with your friends in the future. Remember, look hot as you can for New Year's Eve tonight, lads. Johnny, maybe try not to be as hot as you were last year, though, yeah?
Hey,
nice. Good joke.
That is going to be a funny story.
Yeah, that guy's gonna tell that every year.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you remember that New Year's Eve?
That New Year's was fire.
This New Year's Eve, he is going to tell that story.
Yes.
Seventh year in a row, he's telling that story.
Oh, man.
Dude, showing up to a New Year's party late, going to the kitchen to get a drink, and immediately getting lit on fire.
That sucks.
That's really sad.
Oh.
Unfortunate.
Well,
Thanks, Ohio.
thanks, Ohio.
Only in Ohio.
It snows elsewhere.
Only in Ohio. That one's for the kids.
Oh, that's a reference?
That one's for the Gen Zers out there, maybe even the Gen Alphas out there. Only in Ohio.
We're the same age, and I don't know that.
That's because you're not on the internet like I am. I think we exist in separate corners.
That was literally bullying.
No, it's not bullying. I'm jealous of you that you don't know what that means.
Do you know what Only in Ohio is?
Yeah,
No, you don't.
I know. The Ohio's a meme.
Yeah, Ohio's a meme.
Because all the worst shit happens in Ohio. I only know the Dark Souls Ohio meme.
Yeah.
Or the Elden Ring Ohio meme. But Ohio's just like, it's the freaking hellscape.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio.
It's
Ohio.
just like, yeah, it's like a picture of like a radioactive, just like wasteland. It's like only in Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have seen that.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, I got it.
Sorry.
I get it. I actually knew it
I
the whole
wasn't
time.
trying to be exclusionary. Now I feel like an
You
asshole.
guys have a group chat without me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would just be your messages back and forth, the two of you.
Our next story is another Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for giving my mother-in-law a fake copy of my house key and exposing her during Christmas dinner? Let's
go. That's awesome.
Holy shit.
Exposing her how? Tell us.
I want to preface this by saying that I, a 34-year-old woman, married my husband, who's 37, a year ago. His mom is Snoopy and annoying as
His mom is Snoopy?
Bro.
His
Whoa!
mom
For
is Snoopy.
Christmas!
Crazy.
She can't help it. That's just how she is, as my dear in-laws say. My husband and I purchased a new house recently. My mother-in-law kept pushing to get an emergency key. She promised that she would only use it in an emergency, but given the fact that she had an emergency key to our old apartment and walked in on us being intimate twice, my husband didn't think it was a big deal. I just couldn't trust her. I just sent her a fake key after she kept pushing, and she had a smug look on her face after I hand-delivered it to her. Days passed, and during Christmas dinner, my mother-in-law angrily called me out on the fact that I gave her a fake copy of the house key. She shamed me for doing this in front of everyone, but in my defense, I asked her how she found out, and said she found out days ago when she came over at 4 p.m. while my husband and I were out. I reminded her, didn't you promise you wouldn't use it unless there was an emergency? So you tried to get in when there wasn't an emergency, and you broke the promise you made to us. She looked red in the face. The other family started staring, and some even laughed at her for the face she made. She suddenly got up from her seat and rushed into the kitchen where she had a huge meltdown. So loud the next door neighbors must have heard. Literally, I've never heard a 60-year-old woman throw a tantrum like that. Needless to say, dinner was awkward, and my husband and his sister were giving me looks. My husband went off on me in the car and said I lied, manipulated, humiliated, and exposed his mom, and said he wouldn't have let me get away with it had he known. We had an argument, and he is demanding I apologize to his mom for my childish behavior and for ruining Christmas dinner for the whole family. What? Okay.
Okay.
No, man.
No.
That's absurd. I'm just such a private person. I would not. If someone showed up unannounced and opened my front door, I'm like, you lose your privilege.
No, that is so weird. That just upsets me so much, I feel like, because it's just so overbearing, it's so protective. This couple is in their 30s. They have a whole nother life. There's no reason for you to have an emergency key.
And they be f***ing, and she shows up whenever they be f***ing.
Only in Ohio, I guess.
Ohio. If that happened once, do you know how, like, if I'm him, I'd be like, we're putting up, like, planks of wood over the front door.
Right.
Dude, I love the delusion to be, like, at a family dinner, being like, hey, guess what my daughter-in-law did? She gave me a fake key so I couldn't break into her house while she's gone. Can you imagine? Like, what?
Yeah.
No, she sucks. And then she threw a huge tantrum.
But somehow everybody's on their side?
Well, just the son is defending her.
Okay.
It's not necessarily like everybody. We don't hear about everyone else. The son is defending.
Which is such a classic case of what we also hear on Reddit stories is, like, the husband or the boyfriend then, like, blowing up at his partner for being, like, against his family.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, dude, like, yes, you still respect your family, but you have now a different partner. This is now your family that you are supposed to prioritize.
Don't you care about your own privacy too?
Right.
I'm like, yeah, you care about your wife, you care about her privacy. Aren't you also pissed this is happening? He's kind of like, he says, like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's like, she walked in on you guys twice?
No.
That
And
sucks.
it's just like trying to enter your house at will. Like, what is she doing in there? She's just going to look around and hang out. Like, what?
There's been a lot of stories of parents who want to continuously barge in
Yeah.
without even an invitation.
Right. And it reads so clearly as, like, this insecurity, right? They don't want to let go of their children. They still want to have some sense of control and parenthood, and that's a very real thing. You know, that's definitely something that is a form of grief for parents, but it is frankly inappropriate to exercise it by asking, nay, demanding for a key to your child's home with their partner.
The verdict was not the asshole. Comments, what was possibly the logic to blame you for it? OP says, he blamed me one time for not locking the bedroom door, which is something we never do, and the second time for when she walked in on us making out in the living room. He said intimate stuff should happen in the bedroom just to be extra careful about people walking in, aka his mom, and saw no issue with her walking around in the apartment like she lived there. One time for not locking the bedroom door?
No.
So not only is she walking into the apartment, she's like walking into the bedroom.
No.
That's so
I literally hate that. He straight up was like, we can't make out on the couch. We gotta take it all to the bedroom. Get out of here.
If I'm her, I'm setting up Home Alone traps around the place. And
Hold on, we gotta lock the bedroom. What if my mom walks in?
Oh my God! Are we in high school?
No, if I'm her, she'll walk in and have a paint can to the face. That's how it's going, man.
Yeah. You will not take away the couch.
Someone else said, not the asshole. You did expose his mom, and rightfully so. She needed to be exposed. Your husband is out of his mind for enabling and encouraging his mom's demented behavior. Mother-in-law and husband are major assholes. Lastly, someone said, OP, not the asshole at all. The fact that you're dealing with this is utter BS. Your mother-in-law is so out of line for invading your privacy, calling you out in front of everyone, throwing a tantrum. Holy smokes. There are so many red flags here. I really hope she doesn't cause your marriage to suffer. I feel like that's where you're headed. OP said, unfortunately, my husband always thinks that his mom is doing nothing wrong and I'm the crazy overreactor. Despite trying to explain to him, I feel like my voice is never heard.
That feels like that's something you gotta work out before you get married to that man.
That really freaking sucks.
Yeah, I don't think I would have married that man.
Only in Ohio.
Only in Ohio. That really, really sucks.
Yeah. No, the idea of being like, hold on, we actually need to lock our bedroom door in case my mom breaks into our apartment and just walks into the bedroom.
Right.
Like, what is she snooping for?
That's kind of
what is she looking for?
Condoms.
Why are you going to the bedroom? What was she doing?
What, like,
No, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's really unfortunate a lot of the times. Like, I have always been, very jealous of people that get to live in the same city as their family. It has always seemed like a blessing. But when family can be helicoptering like that, it's really a suffering.
He's 37, and she's helicoptering like that.
It's really unfortunate. And the worst part is that he's in support of that. It's one thing to, again, be a unit and be like, yeah, we got to take care of my family. Like, they're doing too much, like, let's handle this together. But he kind of being on their side and being okay with that. And I think he said, like, he yelled at her in the car, right? Like, afterward, he let her have it.
Yeah.
Hate that language. Really, really don't like that. And really sad to hear that that's a part of their marriage.
Oh, God. Wow.
Reevaluate.
Yeah, seriously. All right, next up. Am I the asshole for not getting on a flight upon finding out that he put my kids in economy?
Wait.
I'm so excited.
So my fiance has 3 kids from his former marriage, whilst I have 2 from my former marriage as well. I quit my job to start focusing on getting my degree. He's become the breadwinner, if you will, although I still contribute with my savings. I also do 80% of childcare and chores. Long story short, he wanted me and my kids to attend Thanksgiving with his family, who are located across the country, and we were supposed to go yesterday, ahead of time to get a rental place. He booked our tickets and everything, but later, before the flight, I found out that he, his kids, and myself were put in first class, whilst my 2 kids, 14 and 10, were put in economy. I was stunned. He acted like it was no big deal and told us it's just a few hours and the kids could just hang in there for a little while. I asked how he could think this was acceptable, and he got mad and said, since he's the one paying for the tickets, then we go by his rules. I immediately turned around and took the kids and made my way out of the airport. He started following us, screaming at me to go back, but I refused and told him that I no longer felt like spending Thanksgiving with his folks after this. My youngest cried because she never flew without me. He went with his kids, me and the kids are home. He has not stopped calling, trying to berate me, and even had his mom text me that I needed to get over myself and stop teaching my kids to be spoiled and entitled. She said that the fact that I was willing to miss Thanksgiving with the family over something so trivial shows my real character and personality and mindset, or lack thereof. I have not replied, but I feel horrible. Am I the asshole?
Lights are going up, snow is falling down. There's a feeling of goodwill around town. It could only mean one thing. Nick Friend is here. People throwing parties, ugly sweaters everywhere. Stockings hung up by the chimney with care. It could only mean one thing. Nick Friend is here.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time.
Should I have just let it slide and just went? In case I wasn't clear, me and the kids left our family/hometown so we could go celebrate with his family in his hometown. My kids weren't too excited about leaving their grandparents for a week or so. Ooh.
No, honey.
God.
No.
I find myself so much on this show having to consciously close my mouth. Because so often I'm just sitting here like,
right.
How, oh.
That's such a deliberate, conscious decision. Like,
totally.
I kind of don't use this word, like, I try not to use this word, but I'm like, that, it comes across to me kind of, that's abuse. Like, that's treating these kids in such a different way.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is psychologically, that's going to affect them, and he knows that's going to affect them. He literally, you might as well tell those kids, hey, you're not as special.
Right.
Like, you're not worth as much.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, what a horrible thing. You're supposed to be all a family.
Exactly.
You kind of have to all be a family. You can't do that.
Right.
It's so manipulative of the husband, too, because he knows she's getting her degree. She's still contributing as best she can, but she's not currently the breadwinner.
Right.
And it seems like he's using that to his advantage to punish people for no reason.
I despise so much when relationships are so obviously inequitable. Like, that is a clear case of, you're right, it's vicious to do that to her kids, right? Like, it would be one thing if he was like, all the kids, you know, like,
right.
we're gonna set some kind of standard for the children or something like that. But to do only that to her kids, and she said it immediately after, how could you possibly think that that's acceptable?
Right.
What's your reasoning?
And I understand, too, that for a lot of people, you know, just because they're married, it's not like her kids are his kids, right? Like, that might not be their dynamic. They're 10 and 14.
Sure.
But he loves her, and so him treating her kids that way is actively disrespecting her as well.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm her, I'm going, oh, you don't love me. Like, you don't care about me. Like,
No.
you don't care. If you don't care about my kids, you don't care about me. I just think this is such a clear sign.
Yeah.
And I know the Reddit advice is always like divorce, but I'm like, this guy clearly.
Yeah. Also, like, how like, the fact that he just thought that she would be okay with that. You know, like, oh, you're gonna cut. Just like, yeah, it's okay. Just leave your kids back there. They can deal with it. Like, it's insanely. It's so disrespectful and so gross.
Yeah.
And what a line to cross as well, to get your mother involved by being like, hey, can you text my wife and tell her that her character sucks and that her kids are spoiled? Like, deal with it yourself.
And he had not told her this until they were at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Manipulative.
And yeah, and she also said, like, her daughter had never flown separately from her on a flight, so he was going to do that and then be like, oh, it's no big deal.
And they're old enough to get it. Like,
Exactly.
If 10 and 14, they're like, yeah,
They're like, wow, yeah, that's
Right.
an asshole move.
And it's probably already difficult for these kids to understand this relationship, which again, like, it's both of the parents have clearly separated. They are now on probably their second marriage. It could be further than that. It's already a difficult thing, and now it's just magnifying that separation and making it that much harder for them to accept this other parent that's entered into their life. Like, he's making zero effort to close that gap.
Right. Verdict was not the asshole. I think it was great of her to stand up to him in that moment, because that sends a signal to her kids, like, hey, like, she's on their side.
They saw that.
She cares about them. That matters. Comments, not the asshole. His kids in first class, your kids in economy. That's a bad sign for the future. Then his response is to berate you and future mother-in-law, calling your kids spoiled and entitled. Even worse. It would not have ended there. I would be done with that relationship. Someone else said, no, you are right and not the asshole. Either all kids fly one way or no dice. If you can afford first class for 4, you can afford first class for 6. Or all fly economy if you don't want kids to feel entitled. He has clearly shown where your kids stand, especially over his kids. You may want to rethink marriage to an asshole like that. Lastly, someone said, not the asshole. Your fiance seems to be missing the point. It's not that you expected your kids to be in first class, but that once everyone else was in first class, it was not okay to put them in economy. I would be very worried about how he treats your kids in comparison to his own from now on. My brother's widow is remarried to someone who makes a lot of money. I can assure you that he treats her kids exactly as how he treats his own. The separation is the problem here. It's you know, I fly economy, and most people fly economy. Economy's fine. if he wanted to treat himself and her to be like, hey, let's ride first class, all the kids can go in economy. That's fine, but don't separate the children. That's also like, that's going to create a crazy dynamic for those siblings.
Right.
Like the 3 who get first class, they're going to know too. And that's going to make them f***ed up.
It's just such an obvious difference that it's almost like it's so ridiculous to think
It's
that people
cartoonishly
wouldn't.
evil.
Right.
To go on and like actually book those tickets and do that on purpose is really, I can't get into the headspace.
Like, you really think a 10 and 14-year-old kid isn't gonna realize, or your wife?
Yeah, he's also saying like his response was, oh well, they'll just hang in there, it's fine. I'm like, then why didn't you all fly economy?
You all hang in there.
Save so much money if it's not that big of a deal, man.
I don't understand how anybody could see this, read the situation, and be like, well, you know, he's got a point. Like that, it is. It's just, it's evil.
Yeah.
It's just like he just obviously does not care about these children and does not care that anyone knows it.
Right. Like, it could be that that's just not computing for him. Like, he's not actually feeling that care and compassion for these kids, and thinks it's just like a little thing, which, you know, again, if he is used to booking these first class tickets, it could be a sense of like privilege, right? This lens that's over him that he's maybe not quite calculating, but then the wife calls it out, right? Like, that's your moment to recognize, like, oh, I've done something wrong. Again, like we were referring to with the first story, this is your moment to be like, oh, I f***ed up.
It's hard to go from blatantly making a choice like that to being like, you're right, my behavior is bad. Like,
Yeah.
this is, I think this feels conscious to me.
Right. Like, we don't want to lend that to him because of the
this isn't
behaviors that
reflex.
follow.
This is like, he really thought this out. Update. What do we think? So they're
divorced?
they're engaged. They're engaged.
Oh.
They're
engaged,
It's
okay.
her fiance,
Okay.
which means she can a lot more easily get out of this.
Break it off.
Doesn't have to sign a paper.
I think this is a break it off moment.
I think
Yeah.
so. Again, not because of the initial situation, but what followed
His reaction
after.
as well.
All of that was inappropriate.
I'm currently getting myself and the kids packed so that we can stay with my mother. This has happened before in other instances, but I kept thinking to myself, this is not right, but I have invested too much time and effort in this relationship, so maybe this shouldn't get in the way. And I try to minimize most situations where I find my kids being put last. Not only that, but he tried to give me an ultimatum regarding getting my degree, and what was my response? This isn't right. But kept making light of it and letting go. Now he's probably bad-mouthing me to the whole family, and so is his mom, bless her effing heart. The kids and I are leaving. He'll be coming back to an empty home, except he'll find some company with the engagement ring that I took off and left on the nightstand. Distance and some reevaluation is needed right now. Thank you to all who reached out with helpful input and perspectives. You're right, my kids come first, and that's what I keep trying to do, and I hope I won't ever fail. Thank you so much for the support.
Yay!
Go.
Can't be surprised if there was a pattern.
Right.
And she's like, oh, wait, this happens a lot.
But yes, it's disappointing to, like we've said, like continue to revisit these stories where these women are unable to see it for themselves.
Yeah.
But it is wonderful that, at least in the pattern that we've seen today, they are at least able to listen to their gut and be like, hold on, in her words, this isn't right, and be able to remove themselves from that situation.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'm so glad she got out of that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bless her effing heart.
Bless her effing heart. Our last story.
No, you're a Grinch.
But one more for a holiday gift after this.
One more for holiday gift. Am I the asshole for telling my brother he cannot stay with me over Christmas if he brings his prosthetic leg?
Why?
My younger brother has a prosthetic leg. I think it is creepy AF, and I have no idea where he got it. I'm reasonably certain that it is something I would rather not know. To be clear here, my brother has 2 perfectly healthy legs. Still attached to his body. He just has this thing he takes with him everywhere. I don't know why, I don't want to know.
No.
He wanted to stay with me rather than our parents while he is home for the holidays. I said he was welcome to stay so long as he doesn't bring that thing into my house. He said it wasn't a big deal and that he would leave it in his luggage. I agreed on the condition that if I saw it outside of his luggage in my home, that I had the right to destroy it. He backtracked on staying with me and is at our parents' house, where he is miserable. They still treat him like a little boy instead of a guy who's almost 30. He called me again after supper and asked to please stay with me. I said he could so long as we eat together, took his thing and put it into a storage unit until he leaves. I get the key, he won't do it. He says that I'm being a bitch for not letting him stay with me. I think he needs to get therapy or a girlfriend, boyfriend, dog, cat, hamster, something. Just not a goddamn prosthetic leg.
That's so funny.
What the hell?
I want to meet this guy.
What the hell?
I want to meet this guy.
She's like, yeah, you can stay with me for Christmas, but hey, leave your leg. Leave your leg. Why?
Sorry, you're gonna have to stay with mom and dad. And he's just like, you're pulling my leg. Come on. Come on.
She's like, leave your third leg at
Leave your
home.
third leg at home. Bro, you gotta put that third leg in a storage unit.
Oh my god.
That took such a turn.
There's got to be like a spirit attached to, like it's whispering to him. The leg is talking to him. There's something going on.
There's some attachment to the leg that's not physical.
Yeah.
It's one of the limbs from Talk to Me.
Oh my god! That is truly haunting, and I think it's so funny that she's like, leave your leg in the luggage and then you can come.
I fully, man, from the title to what the story actually was, because I thought, here you have this brother showing up with a prosthetic leg, and he's like, you gotta take that off, man.
You gotta take it off. It freaks me out.